Alright guys, so we're going to get into some sales. This is just like kind of an introduction to sales. I like this part though. This is fun. We're going to really start to like distinguish what good sales is versus bad sales, okay? So, okay, so let's see. Okay, so what do you guys, right there when you hear sales, what do you think sales? What do you already know about sales? What's your experience with sales?
It's the process of taking something that someone else either desires or needs and taking it from the people who produce it to the people who want it.
Alright, cool. So, I'm looking more for because that's a good answer, right, to what sales is like, as like a definition.
Like, what is,
I'm
what,
saying, yeah, what's
what
your
does a salesman do?
What's the emotion or experience when you guys think sales?
It's excitement.
Okay, good. That's a good outlook. What about from the customer's point of view?
Oh boy.
Crap. I gotta answer.
The guy at
Oh
my
boy.
door.
Yeah. Oh boy. Here he comes. Here comes the salesman. What else?
Sales door to door for that, but sales on a more inner store level, if you do it for product or something like that, not door to door, they're coming to you. It's all about the in between you and your client.
Okay.
And that's sales to me. What I think of is just the rapport that you can really have with these people.
All right, cool.
What are homeowners worried about? What are they worried about when they think someone's going to come and try to sell me on a $3,000 paying job?
They're gonna
Scam.
Honesty is going to be their biggest
Mhm.
concern.
Scam. Yeah, they're going to be sleazy. They're
All
going to
right,
be pushy.
now we're getting there. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The aura, about sales, right? It's
got a
sleazy, it's
stigma, right?
scummy, it's got a stigma, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's intimidating, it's nasty, it's sleazy, it's manipulative, right? Those are the kinds of words I'm looking for. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That's kind of the stigma around sales.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. And that's not. And where does that stigma come from?
Stereotypes. Bad sales.
Yeah.
And I guess that maybe not stereotypes in some sense. There are
That's bad salesmen out there.
Well, where do stereotypes come from? They come from something happened, right?
Something happened.
Look, people don't all have a bad experience with sales because they've never had a bad experience with sales. People all have had bad experience with sales, right? So the stigma comes from lots and lots and lots of really bad salesmen. Okay, and you guys are going to go and be that bad salesman. I've all been a sleazy salesman 20 times in the last year.
At least.
Because he goes out there and he does sleazy shit. You can't help it, man, because you get all wrapped up. You're like, oh, my commission, I gotta get the job, It's stop caring about you. When you start caring about you and you start getting strategic and manipulative and you start trying to corner people and all that, that's the stigma around sales. You guys know what I'm talking about? That's the stigma that we want to shatter. I want to shatter it with you guys. That's not the sales we do. It's not even effective sales. That's just bad sales. You get bad clients. You screw people. Look, you can be way, way more effective at sales if you're not doing the stereotypical sales.
Plus the chances of getting that sale again if you ripped them off the first time are literally almost none.
Peace out for the referral.
Yep.
And you'll see that in this, with other people that we work with, you'll have people who talk to you about other jobs they've done. One of the issues with this particular industry is that people don't realize they got a bad job until a couple of years down the road sometimes.
And now they're paying.
And then they're really, really apprehensive about
Yeah.
who the next guy
I don't
comes
want to
in
get
the door is
screwed
gonna be.
again.
All right, I don't want to get screwed again. So perfect. All right, so you guys get that. So there's this big stigma about sales. Essentially, I think you said it pretty well, Ian. I think sales, essentially, to me, sales, at least in this business, in the painting business, sales is about taking care of your customers. Okay, because we don't need to sell anything. It's something they already want to buy. They're inviting you out to the house. They already want to buy it. Okay, so sales really for us is delivering what people need and want. Okay, that's basically what it's coming down to. But first, so now what I want to do though is I want to take a few minutes and I want to just brainstorm through our experiences with sales. What are the good experiences and what are the bad experiences? And what are some of the things that a bad salesman does versus a good salesman does? So let's look. What are some of the bad experiences or easier ones to pull from? So what are some of the bad experiences you've had with salespeople?
Well, when I was selling, like you said, for Kirby, we were almost taught, like I guess implicitly taught, to lie to the customer directly. You know, to lie to get them to better believe like what you're trying to sell, rather than
You're more of an expert than they are.
you know. I mean,
All right, good. So they lie. Okay, but let's look at, instead of about companies you've worked with or something, let's look at like your guys' actual experience as a paying customer being sold to.
Apple's a big one for me.
And
Oh,
so you
I
have
don't-
had
I
a
don't-
bad, you've had a bad experience
Yeah.
with sales at Apple. Okay, what's the specific experience?
I mean, I've had this laptop. I've been with them for 4 years, and I went in just to fix this tiny little port, and they said, "Well, you can renew this plan for $800, or you can buy a brand new computer." And those are your
Okay.
only two options. You're not
Okay.
giving me any kind of leeway. You're not being my friend. You're not. I've been with you for this long,
Okay.
and this is what I get.
So what would we call that?
I don't know. I
Is
mean,
that like just rude?
well, you're just
rude?
giving- You're
Is that
just
rude?
Rude ultimatum.
like
Yeah, I heard
deceptive.
ultimatum.
Well, and it's about. It sounds like it's about the fucking commission that they're gonna make.
No,
versus
exactly. They
you.
don't care anything about the customer. They're so
Ultimatum.
big.
Rude. Okay, so care about them, right?
Yeah, it's exactly.
Okay.
I almost want to say they're sometimes like obviously out trying to be more nice than they are as a
Fake
person,
nice.
like, deceptive.
Fake nice.
Fake nice.
Plastic.
Yeah, they're fake nice. I totally know what you mean. That bullshit report where they're like way too chummy with you for having just met you. Like it's just total bullshit.
how you doing?
Hey buddy, how you doing today? It's so good to meet you. Come on,
I
come on over here.
have to do it.
Okay, good.
I've
All right.
been doing it for years.
No, we're getting there. All right, so they lied. They're rude. It's all about them. They're fake nice. It's an ultimatum, right? What else?
They put a lot of pressure on you to make a decision immediately.
Pressure.
All the deals.
Okay, so like deals. And it's not so bad to have deals. It's when they use it to pressure.
No, it's like big exclamation point letters, and they put it in your face and say, "Take it now, or you can't have it ever."
There you go. So it's not about deals. It's about pressure deals.
I don't want to shove
right?
it down my throat.
Yeah, pressure. Okay, shove down throat. What else?
Lack of integrity.
So how does that? What's that look like though? Lack of integrity. What would it look like?
Like they promise you the world, and then once you've purchased it, they're gone.
Like for that,
Okay.
the first 2 months we'll give you this service, but I'm not going to tell you that after that 2 months. Now it's 4 times the price.
Okay, good. What would we put down for that? What do you guys think? Overselling or like?
Well, it's like the
I don't know.
shadowy, like
Shadowy
There's something
or-
they're not telling you.
That's
Shady.
right. They're not.
That's right,
Shady.
Illuminati
Shady.
on
shady,
it.
shady.
Yeah.
You can tell they're not telling you something.
And they're not
they're
forthcoming
avoiding
with any of
something.
So they're shady. All right. What else?
Sometimes you can tell that they're almost doing the same pitch as they always do.
Robotic.
Yeah.
You can go into 4 different Qdoba's, you're going to get the same answer.
Yeah, robotic.
Every single time.
Robotic. Hey, and you know, you even know the other salespeople who are robotic because you can tell they're not listening to you.
Mhm.
Right? When you say something and their response has nothing to do with what you just said. It's like it's scripted, some sort of, it's robotic, right? So then also don't listen, right? Look, like, I don't need a new phone. Like,
Then
guy
you
walking
just
by,
do that.
right? I'm walking through the mall, and some guy's like, "Hey, buddy, hey, you need a new phone?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, we've got this great." I'm like, "Dude, I just said I don't need a new phone."
Just stop.
Right? So they don't listen. They sell you things you don't need.
Would you like this earpiece with this phone? I know you ride a bike, but
I want to.
So what you don't need.
I'm just gonna get a little Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay. So what you don't need. What else?
For the car.
Here, let's jump over. So we got a pretty good list going. We're gonna keep adding this. Let's go to the good side. Okay. Good experience with sales.
good experience for me is follow up.
And what's the follow up look like?
Follow up is, they have your contact information because you just gave them pretty much everything but your social security number.
Uh-huh.
And after you've sold the product and you've gone through the process with them, had a good experience, then they actually check in and make sure.
Okay, cool. So that's after the sale's made, is what you're saying. So we're going to do that part, right? We
Right.
got that part. But as far as the sale, so we're talking about before the sale is made.
Make sure they go away happy rather than
Yeah, follow up. Follow up. Let's just say respectful.
yeah.
Okay. So because like a good salesperson, they'll follow up when they say they will, and there's not pressure here, right?
No.
pitch, maybe.
Yeah, they listen versus pitch.
I mean, they don't pressure, they inform.
Okay, so it's informative.
Mhm.
Okay, what else is, in your guys' experience? Like, you've had good experience with like a salesperson.
I guess I could say that my buddy, his like uncle's best friend worked at a hockey shop up in Steamboat. Remember that one
At
right as
Blades?
you entered? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went there one time and he picked up a pair of hockey skates, and like the next time he came back, he went in there, and it's not like the guy was like, "Hey, I remember you bought some stuff last time, like blah 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 blah." He's like, "Hey, Spencer, how's it going, man? Like, what have you been up to? How's hockey been going?" You know, like they're personable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personable, genuine. My word was like, they treat like a human being,
Mhm.
right? So, personable and genuine. Genuine. And like genuinely friendly. So genuine, friendly. Like, but it's not. You know when someone's being friendly as a suck up, and when someone's genuinely friendly.
Mhm.
Good. What else? Good experiences.
I got one. I mean, like they tell the truth, you know, like they don't bullshit. Like even if it's something you don't want to hear, like they'll let you know, like
No,
honestly,
they're
man,
an
like,
advocate for you rather than their commission.
You verse for the commission.
I think good salesmen sell themselves a little bit more
Mhm.
than they sell like the product.
And how would they do that?
By, I guess, not selling themselves, but showing that they're just like the person buying the stuff. And
So there's like a relationship. There's a relationship and like a relatedness, we'll say, right?
Mhm.
Like no matter who they're selling to, like they find a relatedness with you. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean? Okay. What else? Just trying to think.
ask a lot of questions. They
Yeah.
find out what you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
Have it
so
your
lots of
way.
questions.
Customized.
Okay, yeah, customized,
So it's tailored to you.
tailored. Okay. Anything else?
They care.
Care.
This is a general statement. They care.
Care. All right. Any other big ones? I mean, I think we got the pretty gist, right? All right. Now, so we want to make this so you guys get that like this. Okay. So this is one way of doing sales, right? How often do you buy from this person?
Only if you have to.
Only if you have to. Like if it's
So
Comcast.
like for me to that.
like Comcast.
Yeah, Comcast.
Yeah.
DirecTV.
I have Comcast.
Yeah, I had Comcast and now I'm getting screwed by DirecTV instead. Right? So that's one of the rare times, right? Is when you have no choice. When else do you buy from this? When else do you say yes to this salesperson?
In uncomfortable situations.
It's pretty much only when,
Yeah,
have you guys ever bought from this person?
choice.
No choice, and maybe it's your first time buying the product.
And maybe you got screwed.
Uninformed
Maybe you got
knowledge.
duped, right? You buy from them when you get screwed, and then you never buy from them again, right? And that's where the stigma comes from, is
Yep.
people got duped, they bought into the bullshit, they bought because they got pressured, they got an ultimatum and all that, and then that person gets really pissed, and now they have a skepticism towards all these people in the future, right?
Yep.
So the point is, and then, okay, so out of 10 interactions with this person, let's say you don't have to use them, right? That situation never comes up. How many times are you going to, interacting this way with 10 of these people, how many times are you going to buy from those 10 people? Jesse said 0. You guys?
0.
0. You know, right? The only reason you wouldn't say 0 is if there was some weird situation, right?
Mhm.
This person, how many times do you buy from this person?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Well, they
Right?
don't strike you as a salesman, you know? Your guard's down if they don't automatically appear to have a different, go with another agenda, you know? Like,
Yeah, no,
what's the
you're right.
agenda?
Their guard is down.
And your guard is down, like when they're selling to you
Yeah.
or presenting a product to you. So it's like, so you start telling them exactly what you want, you know, so they sell you more. You know, oh, that's actually what you want, so they sell you more on it, you know.
Yeah, when the guard's down. And how quickly do you put a guard up? when something like
As
this
soon as you
happens.
see
As soon
anything
as
on
you
that
see-
list
it's-
on the
yeah.
right.
How many of these does it take before this is who you're talking to?
One.
It takes one of these. If someone does all of these in fake nice, where do you categorize them?
Bad.
They're here. If they do all these but they're rude, done. All these but then they pressure you at the end, done. All these but then they kind of answer some questions kind of shady, done. Like, it does not take much to go from here to here. But you guys gotta get that, yes, this close at 100% you buy with this person. Look, this is how I book 60 to 70%. Like, I don't ever do this. I just never do it. Alright, but how? So why does this happen? So why does this happen?
Because it's a really easy way to go about it.
Okay, so it's an easy way to go about it.
Especially for these big companies. And it's just an easy way. It's like, yeah, just go push our product as much as you can. Sure, it might not work all the time, but some of those times,
Sure,
you're going to sell
sure.
it.
Might be aware that they can't compete with some of the companies that are doing it legitimately.
Joy
So they,
TV.
Let's look at an individual person, an individual salesperson. Instead of like big companies doing this, is like, let's look at an individual salesperson who's working at a kiosk and being paid on commission. Why does he do this?
For himself.
Yeah, he does it for himself, right? Look, why would you lie?
To make it sound better.
To make it sound better, to
Make more money.
make the sale. Why would you be rude?
because
not
you're
doing
not
what you
making
want.
a sale and you want.
Yeah, because you're pissed off, or as an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
To do what?
Get them.
Get
to buy
them.
the product. To
You're like,
close.
"What? All about them. Why is it all about them? So they can make their money, right? Why would you be fake nice? Because you don't actually care, but you want to pretend like you do, so you can
Sell the product.
make the sale. Why do you shove stuff down people's throat? It's a forceful tactic, right? To sell the job. Robotic. Why do you be robotic? Because you're fucking lazy and you don't care.
You have terrible training.
Or you have really great training and you don't care. So you say the same thing to everybody. Don't listen. What?
Don't care.
Because they don't care. And because like they're pushing a lot of this is about their agenda, right? So essentially, if we just said, what is this side all about?
Their agenda.
Yeah, this is all about them. And their money. Right? Alright, now let's look at this side. So what's this side? So what's about this? What's this side about?
It's about the customer. It's about giving them a nice experience.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This side is about the customer.
And their money.
And you're right, their money.
Right. Oh, that's actually.
That's good addition.
I did a job last year where they ended up being one of our unpleasant jobs, but there was a high point at one point of it. They got a bid from college boys that was like $1,500 more than it should have than mine was, and I called Eric and I asked Eric about it, and I sent him a picture of the house, and basically what it was is this other company just overbid it by like $1,200.
There you go.
And then there's also a flip side of that though. Like a lot of time I'm over the price of another, but they feel more comfortable with me and they know that it's going to actually last longer, which means they actually are going to save money than the other guy who's $500 more than me because he was kind of a little sleazy about it. He's like,
because you informed them that it might be a little more,
like
but
this
it's
guy might cut some corners, and this guy's not. So we're going to pay $500 up front, but it's going to last 2 years longer. So we're actually going to save that money in those 2 years because we're going to have to not paint 2 years longer, right?
So
Alright, so if it's so obvious that this is so much more effective than this, why do we still do this? It's like, it's an obvious answer. It's because we get paid on commission, and that's how it works, right? Like, you get selfish. Like, you start looking out for your own skin. Like, it's inevitable. It's so human. Like, that's one of the hardest things, as far as, getting really good at sales, is like, what are you going to have to do to completely not ever do this and do this? What would you have to do?
Believe in those things.
Yeah, you gotta, blindly trust that this will work. It occurs, blindly, right? Why does it seem like you're blindly trusting this? If you're just, doing this, it feels like it because you don't have any control over here. Do you?
it's all in the customer's hands.
You're literally and so it's like this feeling of no control over the job that leads to these things, right? Customer says like, okay, well everything looks good. I think we're gonna get a couple more estimates. Right away, what do you think? What are you thinking?
Well, there goes the whole sale.
Yeah, right? You get all, well, there that fucking goes. Right? Or they're like, well, hey, very beginning of the estimate, they're like, well, we just, we wanted to start getting some estimates and you came by, so we thought we'd get an estimate from you and see how much it would cost. What do you think right away?
They're not.
They're not
interested
interested
right
right
And so what are you going to do?
Kind of.
Push it.
Push them,
Yeah.
right? It's like right there. Like, that's the problem is you don't have to think to end up over here.
It's instinct.
This happens. This just happens, man. So you gotta actually what you gotta do, you gotta give up anything you care about you. I mean, really, give yourself up and just take care of your customer. Give it up and take care of your customer. I don't know how else to put it. But that's your access to being an extraordinary salesperson, is when you match being an expert with being this salesperson. You follow? You agree?
Oh yeah.
What are you guys getting from it?
It's just like the almost just like reciprocation. It doesn't feel like it would be hard to follow all the things on the good side, but once, like you said, once something goes wrong, it's really easy. I can find 5 things on there that I've done right
Totally.
just from one thing going wrong, So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would just be a matter of actually being proactive and trying to do it yourself, because like I said, it reciprocates. At first, it doesn't feel like you doing these things is what's gonna make you money, but in the end, it makes the customers happy and it makes you happy also.
Yeah. So what can you take away from this, having done this exercise?
That what can I
What
what
can you take away?
I mean, it seems intuitive.
Yeah.
Everything on there is obvious, but I can take away that I would have to work on myself doing these things and just
It
be
takes a
more
lot of
aware of
practice.
trying to do
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. What you can do from this is start to be really aware and catch yourself when you start to do this. And the second you catch yourself do it, stop. Stop.
Is
If
this
you
the
don't-
big reason for the role play that we do? Is especially during training, is to see if I just want to see if I do this. Anyways.
You're not gonna do it in role plays. You won't do it in role plays because there's nothing at stake,
Okay.
right? So you're not gonna find yourself accidentally over here in a role play because it's a role play, right? But if you're in someone's, right there with a customer, you don't know what to do because they just said an objection or they just said something. You're just like, watch this. They're like, well, we're really, really interested. Is this discount for just today? Yes. No, what you want to say there is yeah.
I mean, that's been pounding
Right.
in my brain for.
But
10 years
instead,
now.
look, here's the thing though, is my response to that is look, my response is look, we offer discounts because it helps us out. Are you guys concerned about something? Do you have something you want to work out or because I can definitely move the discount if you guys need to work something out. I mean, it's not about the discount. I want to make sure I'm getting you guys what you're looking for.
Nah,
Do you have any concerns or questions?
If you take care of the
That's
customer,
That's how I answer that.
they're going to take care of you.
But you see how easy it can be to
Oh, yeah.
switch over, man. You take it. It's we're a bunch of opportunistic.
That one little split
Oh,
thought. Just, yes. No. Shit.
All right, cool. Or another one is this thing here, selling people what they don't need. If you get to a house and they say oh, we're not sure if we're gonna paint this year, your natural tendency there is gonna be
Let's
to
go find
convince them
something.
to paint.
Let's go find something.
You don't do that, and honestly, you don't need to. You just inform them, because odds are, is almost if you're at their house, they do need to paint. If you're just honest, and if they don't, and you're honest about that, we'll book the job later, right? Because the thing is most of the time when we go to here, is because we are afraid we're not going to get the job, so we go here to try and manipulate to get the job. But the crazy thing is that if you're concerned you're not going to get the job, the best thing to do is to stay here, because odds are other people are going to do this and lose the job. look, this is like this is just survival. Like, just don't be an asshole, and you'll get the work.
Salesman survivor.
Seriously, like, be the only one who's really genuine, nice, professional with putting the customer's
They're
concerns
gonna go
first,
100% of the
and no one
time.
else will. I promise you. I promise you. All right.
Cool.
Jesse, anything you want to share since you kind of went through this last year?
Yeah. So the thing on the left is like how you think you're gonna behave when you talk to a cute girl, and the thing on the right is how you're actually gonna behave when you talk to a cute girl.
Awkward and terrible.
And so like it really like yeah no you're never gonna lie on an estimate, man. You're not. But you might answer a question that you don't 100% know the answer to because you don't want to be like, let me call my boss. You know, like it really is just so easy to fall in every single one of those traps. Fake nice. One of my biggest problems last year. I worked at a daycare, and so I talked to kids all day. And so I talked to them like this. And I treated them real safe, and so they didn't feel scared at all, you know, because this was a big fat guy standing over them, you know. Then I took that into going into estimates, and I walked into grown people's houses, and I talked to them like that. And looking back, I'm like, God, those people, like, how did I even get through the estimate? On their end, it must have seemed so condescending, you know? Like, it wasn't that I was being fake nice. It was that was how I had learned to talk to people over a period of time. And I just needed to kind of relearn.
I mean, they're little
You
people.
know, and then I just went into an estimate, you know, and like my back hurt, and I was just like, oh, sorry, I'm walking around funny, my back kind of hurts. And just like, I wasn't being like, no, I'm fine, everything's great, you know? Like, I was real straight with the guy, and that ended up being one of the jobs I booked. And it was one of the first jobs I booked. And I remember like going into the estimate in my head, like I'm just gonna talk to this guy, you know, like I'm Jesse, he's this guy. We're just gonna talk, you know. And if he books, and if not, not. And that was the estimate I walked away from. Like, man, that guy clicked. That guy's gonna book for sure, you know. And I knew it. Like, you know when you do a good estimate, you know when you do those things. Like, you know.
You know.
You can see, you can in the back of your head see yourself, you know.
Yep.
So.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Jesse. That was beautiful what you said. Anything else?
That's just so much more fun too, you guys. You know,
This is way more
like
fun.
being good. Like
You
This
go
is so
in
much
with a
more
set,
fun. Oh my
like,
God.
robotic responses and questions.
You can sleep at night over here.
yeah. Well, like that's a job. It's like I gotta get this guy to get to 300,000. That's like I'm gonna have fun with this guy. And if he wants to
It
work with me,
sucks.
great. If not, fine.
No, like the structure. If you do it right, if you do this right,
Your job's not to make commission. Your job's to go take care of our customers,
Uh-huh.
and you're gonna get paid handsomely when you do.
yes.
That's how that works. You know. All right. So the next slide. So here's why people buy. All right, we have 4 reasons. I would write them all down. I'm gonna write them down while you guys do. All right. So, this is why they buy. If you check off these 4 things, you'll book work. It's that easy. For real. We good?
Hmm.
All right, so 1, we're going to just dive, just like we just dove into that last thing for like 10 or 15 minutes, we're just going to dive into this. I want to prove to you guys how easy it is to sell. So, you got to earn their trust. Have you ever bought from someone you don't trust?
No.
Why? All right, so you gotta have their trust. And how do you burn someone's trust?
1.
Here's how. This is how you burn trust. This is why you don't book jobs when you do this, because you don't keep trust. They don't trust you. Jesse, did you book any jobs that you did over here last year? Like, really think, is there anything you did over here, like, and you just squeaked by, like, kind of were a little sleazy and you got the job? Alright, he's got
I messed up a couple of my pre-closes. Was a little
pushy on
little
pre-closers
pushy on
and
those,
still
yeah.
booked. That's what's amazing, you guys, is you can still, like, cross the line a little bit and be, like, one of the nicest salespeople they've ever met with. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what's so
There's
sad.
so many bad ones out there.
No, it's true, but you're right. You cross the line, and to them it was probably just like, it's just a little close. You
It
probably
wasn't
felt
that-
like you
it
pushed
wasn't
them.
that bad.
No, and it probably wasn't that bad, you know. But even Jesse noticed a little bit of that, and you know, still got a job. But so you didn't burn their trust, but you could have. There were other pre-closes you pushed a little too hard and probably burned people's trust, right?
Yeah, I talk too much.
Yeah. Okay. So trust though. Trust is a required condition for buying. Got it? They are painting this year. That is a required condition for buying. If they are not painting this year, are they gonna write a check to commit to painting?
No.
Hell no. Alright, so they gotta be painting this year, they gotta trust you. You need to get them what they need and want. If you don't get them what they need and want, are they gonna sign with you? Why not?
Why would I do it if
Yeah,
you
it's not
don't
what I
have
need and
I
want. And then the last thing is the price has to be fair. If the price is not fair, if you trust the guy and you're like painting this year and they got what you need and want, but the price is just you think the price is way overpriced, are you gonna buy? No. No, if the price is fair, are you gonna buy?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna buy. If you have these 4 things, you will buy. So let's just say, instead of painting, we say it's a blank space and this is for whatever you're buying. Apply this to everything you've ever bought. You're buying a new phone. Okay, you're going to the phone store and you're talking to a guy and you trust him, right? You trust him, you're buying a phone, he gets exactly what the phone you need and want, but the price is like $600 for the iPhone, because you can't charge. You gonna buy it?
Nope.
No. But if they got a nice little deal, like let's say you go in, you trust the guy, you know, you're buying a phone, got the iPhone, and you get the nice little deal where it's like $150. Fair price, right? You gonna buy? Yeah. You go in and you're getting a phone, they get exactly what you need and want, and the price is fair, but you kind of don't like the guy. Are you gonna buy? Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe. But sometimes I just don't want to give this guy my business. So sometimes what happens is you leave and you come back and buy later with someone you like. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't want to buy from them, so you're like, I'm gonna just kind of keep looking around, whatever, because you know what I'm saying? All right, so this is gonna follow like, and the trust thing is way more important with way bigger decisions. You know, so buying a phone, you're kind of buying from AT&T. You might be like, you know, meeting with some schlep who's being an asshole, but you still buy it because, you know, it's AT&T, right? But on like $3,000 paint job or something, you're buying from the person selling the job. Period. Okay, so trust, painting this year, gotta get what they need and want, and we gotta have a fair price. Okay, now we're gonna come back to all these and show you through our estimate process how to earn all 4 of those. Okay, now here's the key. I'm just gonna break down a couple things for you now. So trust. How do you guys build trust?
Honesty.
Yeah, honesty. What else?
Go back to being an expert, being informative.
Yeah, knowledgeable. Honest, knowledgeable, and one other thing. Builds trust.
You show that you care.
Yeah, I think by being honest, you know, and being knowledgeable, and showing you care is going to be like an aftermath of this other one, which is like being friendly. Like they like you. Right,
Remembering small details that they told you.
They're not even gonna let you in the house if they don't like you.
Their kid was sick during the initial
It's
call. Ask them how their kid is doing at the end.
Right? Yeah. Being friendly. Right? Because how many times, like, you know, have you guys ever had a salesman that like you just love, that like you just want to buy something from them?
Yeah.
Like they won you over. Like you don't even really want what they're buying. But you're like, dude, I just want to buy something. Like, you're a good dude. Like all the time. So 3 things here, right? And you can write these down. We're gonna come back to them. But trust, honest, knowledgeable, friendly. That's how you build trust. That's it. And how long does it take to build trust?
The second you make
Yeah,
eye contact.
not long. Not long at all. Do you need to tell them like hours and hours about your paint knowledge? No. Do you need to talk about like your deeper secrets and fears? No. You know? And you also, you know, and you also don't need to talk, you know, sometimes my report, like I used to do estimates and I would take like 2 hours at an estimate because I'd build reports from them for 45 minutes because I thought that's what it took. It's not. It doesn't take that. It takes like being friendly, being knowledgeable, and what's the other one I said? Friendly, knowledgeable, and honest. That's it. Friendly could be like sometimes the report I talk with a customer that like earns the trust is something as small as like, hey man, you guys got a beautiful garden. You do this yourself? You know, and he says yeah, and I'm like, and then I'll say like, oh yeah, me and my girlfriend tried to do a garden this year, and I think we ate like 1 cucumber and everything died. And like it'll be a stupid little joke, and that's like all the report we needed. You know, it's like, oh cool, it's a little bullshit, just bullshit, a little bit of bullshitting with them, like just being friendly. Cool. So that's trust. Painting this year. How do we fulfill this one? Inform, and if they want to paint, they paint.
If not,
They don't.
back.
If not, and we're just going to be honest with our recommendations on the problems on their house, and they're going to choose to paint or not, right? So this is just a matter of informing them, getting what they need and want. How do we fulfill this?
Ask questions.
Ask lots of questions, and then,
Follow through.
yeah, deliver. Recommend what's appropriate for what they need and want. And then fair price. How do we fulfill this one?
Don't overbid it.
Oh, by the way, the other one here is options. Give them lots of options, because sometimes people don't know. And so if you give them four or five options, then they've got their options.
I want
right?
that one.
Fair price. How do we do this one?
Don't overbid it.
Well, yeah, don't overbid it, for sure. So about the fair price, our price is going to be pretty much like what our price is going to be. So it's not. So there's nothing we can do to change the price. All we can do is change the customer's perception of our price. And the way that we change a customer's perception of the price is by being very informative and detailed. Yeah, by explaining to them all the little detail work we're going to do on the bottom of all these boards that are peeling, and all the detail work we're going to do by caulking all these cracks around the house, and And so, anyways, we're going to get to that selling process tomorrow, but yeah, it's our job to build value by being detailed and thorough so that we can justify our price. Because our price is already going to be there. And if you just drop it on a business card and leave it for them, and it's $3,000, versus we walk around the house and we point all these little things and we show them we're going to do this and this
It's
and
much
this and
more
this and this.
meaningful 3,000.
Exactly. Good. So that's how we're going to fulfill those four things, right? All we really got to do is fulfill these four things. And we have a pretty good process for doing that. But does that seem pretty manageable? All right, cool. And what do you guys get out of just kind of breaking it down like this?
Don't mess up the trust.
Don't mess up the trust. Why do you say that?
It's back to the whole pyramid thing. A lot of this is based on the pyramid. If you knock that out,
Yeah.
everything's kaput.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. And look, it's for sure, trust is necessary, but this is necessary, and this is necessary, and this is necessary. Right? So for sure, trust. Right? Without trust, none of these else matter. But without getting what they need and want, trust doesn't matter much either. You know, without building the value of price, trust doesn't matter much either. You might have a nice new friend who doesn't give you any money, and you never talk to again. But so that's great to have the trust. Like I'd rather have you have trust and not this than have this and no trust, right? But you need to have all of them,
important.
and they're relatively easy though, right? Like if it really comes down to it, it's like be a nice guy. Recommend if they don't need to paint, don't tell them they need to. Get them what they need and want, and tell them what you're doing. Like this is pretty easy. That's like what I want you guys to be getting out of this. This is not really that complicated. We just make it really complicated when we go into this, bad neighborhood over here, and start like
We're
screwing
on the
people.
side of the tracks.
Yeah. All right. All right. So I know you guys haven't all done like a lot of sales jobs and stuff, and I know this is like second time around with you, Jesse. But for you two guys, like what have you gotten out of just this kind of introduction to sales and like our view on selling and how we like to sell and our belief on selling? Like, what's new or different, or what do you like, or what are you excited about, or is there anything you're nervous about? Like, just what do you get out of the talk?
Just like the trust thing we were talking about, I can look at you and listen to the way you're speaking to me and understand that you actually believe in these concepts. Like I said, for the Kirby job, they were teaching us, and from the first couple minutes, I could tell that they were trying to bullshit their way around what was really going on. So I like the fact that we actually practice what we preach, and that you believe that we'll make more money and we'll be a better, longer lasting company if we actually do what's right.
I know it, for sure. But yeah, good. I'm glad that comes across. And what's your experience of like going into selling this way versus at Kirby? You got all these bad vibes and sleazy tactics and stuff. What's your approach now? Like, how does that change your view?
Well, I mean, number one, for something like Kirby, I had to go up to each store knowing I was going to have to lie in some way or another, sell them something. When I do this, I can actually knock on a door and talk to someone, and and I guess they don't necessarily look at me as a salesman rather than just like someone who's works for a company that has something that they need, And you just don't feel like you're ripping people off.
Okay. Do you think it makes it easier to sell?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. I mean, it was impossible to sell that way.
Yeah.
But
It's an uphill battle. For
yeah,
sure.
I mean, and also I noticed I would get a lot more doors shut on me when I worked for Kirby before they even knew who was coming up to the door. You know, it's just because every person they saw looking out the window had the same look on their face, like
Money signs.
they're
and
not
all.
excited to get up to the door. They know, and you can read that in people. You can
Yeah.
read emotions.
Awesome. What are you getting out of this, Gavin?
I mean, since I've lived with Ben and he's talked about you guys and how you carry yourselves, it's exciting because there's not a lot of places out there that can say that they are being advocates for the customer. They milk it like a cow rather than
Yeah.
feeding it and helping it grow. And so I guess that's one thing I'm excited about because I mean I don't have any prior sales experience, but I know that we can. I mean I pushed product before. It's
Yeah.
food, but it's still a product.
Yeah. Cool.
I didn't feel good about it.
Well, so the thing is like we said, that this bad neighborhood is kind of a natural tendency. So now that you guys know this, knowing it is like not even half the battle. Knowing's like the start of the battle. Now it's a matter of when you go into that bad neighborhood and when you start doing that crap, catching yourself, and over time what ends up happening is you get more and more natural with the good way of doing sales. And now like it's taken me a long time. I don't think it'll take you guys that long because I was trained in a little bit more of a pressure system, and there were reasons we did that and stuff, but it took me a long time to kind of learn how to just take care of customers and set my own concerns aside. Like, it took time to learn how to do that. Ben, how long have you been working actively on doing that?
4 years now.
4 years?
Well,
Ben-
with you, the
3
first year
years.
was pressure. Yeah, the last 3
3
years
years.
like taking care of people.
Yeah, I mean, the first year he was a really, really pressure guy, and then last year he was just got a little sleazy here and there. It was like in spurts though, and towards the end of last year started just taking care of people, and the sales rate went up. It was like really clear. Like when Ben was in a sales slump, I would just be like, "Dude, are you being sleazy or what?" Every time he knew it. He knew he was. He's like, "Yeah, dude, holy shit!" It's like, how many times last year did we have a conversation where like you had like this aha where you're like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize I'm being such an ass."
Right.
Like I totally have been a manipulative dick to all these people, And you hear his initial phone call, and it's like, it sounds like a freaking robot. It's like he's like he's not even talking to people. So you'll start to catch that, and it takes time, but over time you start to get better and better and better, and it's so much more fun. Like, so our intention is like, let's get you guys through that freaking learning curve as fast as possible, because it's way more fun, it's way more effective, and it's, something you can actually like be happy about,
And it starts to become not like sales. It's like you're a consultant, an informant with a great
Yeah,
product.
seriously.
Like that's like the whole sales thing. Like when I go in there, I'm like, I gotta sell this person. I don't. When I go in there, I'm like, I'm gonna inform what they want, and then I'm gonna offer them a great product.
Yeah.
And
9
they're gonna
times
say
out
what
of
they
10.
say, and we'll talk about it.
It's a great product.
We'll go from there, and whatever's gonna happen. So when you start getting all freaked out and worried, just know that any of your guys' concerns, if you're like worried or nervous, freaked out, you're worried about you.
Don't be.
No, but like that's a good sign. Like to know if you're like getting all nervous about something, sometimes like you're probably worried about you. You're not worried about you. Just go in there and like if you get all your concern on them, you should never really be like worried or stressed out or anxious. Because you're just gonna go and you're gonna offer them. If they say, "Hey, the price is too high," you're like, "Oh, I don't want you to do this." Then, if you can't afford it, or if like I'm the highest bid, like you definitely should go with one of the lower ones. And that's why I don't close 100% of my bids.
Just make sure you ask them about this, and this.
There you go. And do you have questions about my bid? Are you guys happy with things? Cool. Well, yeah.
If you do have questions, let me know.
If they're really doing everything I'm doing and they're doing it for $1,000 less, yeah, and you trust them just as much as you trust me, I would go with them. And I've told customers not to go with me. That's when you really know like you're taking care of the customer, when you start to send business over to me.
Send away your money.
Yeah, but it's amazing though, man. I actually have an example of that. So I did this bid this last year, and so I went out, I did the estimate, I came in at about $4,300, and then they got another quote from a basically a family friend. He like works at the school where the husband works at, so they're friends through work, and gets a bid from his friend at work. And so it's me, nobody, against friend at work. He's at 3,300. I'm at 4,300, and I remember they were thinking about what to do, and whatever. I was like it was 3,500 and 4,300. They were thinking about what to do, and I got a phone call from the guy, and he called up and he said, "Hey Eric, we're looking at the contracts, and we're just thinking, and I noticed you put a discount to $400 if we get it done this fall. We're thinking about doing it in the spring. How much will it be if we wait till the spring?" I said, "Hey, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Jeff." I said, "Hey Jeff, honestly, man, like if you didn't book with me now and you called me in the spring and said, hey, I'll do this with you. If you give me last year's price, I'll give it to you. Like, I'm not going to raise the price on you. Like, I want your business.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to do it now, that helps me out for sure. And I would definitely like to earn your business now, but the truth is, I'm not going to charge you if you wait." And he said, "Okay, cool, thanks." Then he called me back like 2 days later. He's like, "Yeah, I think we're going to go with you, and we actually do want to do it this fall." I go, "Look at
It was
that."
like a test.
Well, look, it was a freaking test. Even if he didn't know he was testing me, it was a test, because what do most people do in this situation? They don't do what I did.
No,
They
it's
push
gonna be
them.
4,800. That's the pressure.
At 4,800, or like, no, honestly, like, that price is the price, it's going to go up $500 if you wait till the spring. Pressure 'em. It's like, no, I look like kind of a dick, maybe they wouldn't have gotten to me, I don't know. But I do know that, like, me giving up all the control like that, I know made a really good impression on them, and I know they're really happy about that, and that's the kind of way we want to take care of our clients. Cool? Because that will speak a lot louder than anything we can say or write on a contract. What's the next slide, Mr. Landusk? Oh, look at that. So this is a quote I got from a speaker. So when I was working with CollegeWorks, we had all these really awesome speakers. Jack Daly was one of them. He's a huge speaker, motivational coach guy. He rocks. All he does now is fly around and do speaking for sales, because he's like a monster at building sales teams. He was like part of a company. I don't know if he was a sales manager or what exactly his role was, but he started a company and they made $42 million in profit in the first 3 years. Like, boss, right? That's the only number that stuck with me when I heard this guy speak. He was the guy that got me like totally into goals, that got me crazy about goals, and and all this stuff. But he was really he was just a really incredible speaker, and that was like a quote that really stuck with me. And that's what he preaches to all of his sales workshops nationwide. And this is a guy who knows sales. And that was like one of the first times I really heard that, like, for real. And over the years, like, I've gotten more and more clear that when you care more about your customer than you care about making the sale, you'll sell more than anyone else. And that's true. Like, I know that to be true. Because the more I started to put my customer first, the more my sales rate went up. Cool? Alright, so here's basically our sales process, okay? Ben? Alright, so